Good afternoon, everyone, and apologies for our tardiness. Well, it's not tardiness, it is just unforeseen problems arising. Problems? No, hurdles. They're not problems, they're hurdles. We had to jump a few hurdles today to get to you. And welcome to Djuma Game Reserve. My name is Mark, and Seb is with me on camera, with Tara back in our final control room. We're already at Gowrie Dam, where we took a shortcut down here, and right in front of the lodge. Evidently there were some monkeys shouting here a short while ago. I don't see any of them yet. We'll probably... hang on. No, that wasn't monkeys, those were babblers. Look at this tree that the storm blew over. Beautiful big tree that was in front of the lodge. They had to cut some of the branches off of it, obviously blocking the entire view from the lodge. There's that one, and then of course there's the big tree that the camera was supposed to be on the other side of us. Now I wonder, these monkeys shouting at a predator could be that lion whose tracks we saw this morning. Could be cat. Other cat, spotted cat. It's a grey day today. The temperature hasn't changed very much from this morning. It's very unusual for this part of the world that it doesn't get at least a little bit warmer. Don't know what this weather is going to do. To the southwest it looks pretty grey, pretty dark, like there could be something happening there, water wise, rain wise. One thing I want to just mention is that we might have a little trouble with the engine this afternoon. We were having trouble this morning, and it's not a small fix. See if there isn't anything moving around down here in front of the cab, other than a jacana on the edge of the water.
Also driving? He says he's actually from that area, putting down a bridge with me in the because I will do the something. Presumably I'm covering them out here from Yellow South. Andrew?
Quite typically, whatever it was that the monkeys were shouting at would have been brief. It might have been walking, in which case it probably carried on walking, and monkeys don't see it anymore. Somebody coming down on Vubu Road. It must be Abel. Obviously didn't see anything up on Vubu Road. Laura? Hello. How old is this vehicle and how many miles has it got on the clock? I can't remember. I must ask Jess how old it is. She bought it originally. I don't know how accurate the odometer is. It says 304,000. And Laura's got a picture of a Scottish rhino, even rarer than a black rhino. Gee, Laura, I reckon it's rarer than hen's teeth too. Greetings to Wayne in Florida, wanting to know if it's cold enough to snow in Juma. Well, theoretically no, Wayne. It's not that it doesn't get cold enough, it's just that I think the altitude is too low. As far as I'm aware, I don't know of any place that can... No, I'm wrong. It snows in New York's sea level. I don't know if it's ever snowed here. I don't think so. I doubt it. I just have to look at the composition of the trees, or even more than that, the composition, the shape, the shape of the leaves, composition of leaves that we have here. None of the plants here are adapted to anything below about 5 degrees, because we have a number of broadleaf varieties, like the guarri, the jackalberry, not really that broadleaf, I suppose, but simple leaf varieties of trees that have a single leaf, and none of these trees have what it takes to survive very cold temperatures. Most plants operate on 5 degrees Celsius and above, and then below that they go dormant, and most plants that go below such a low temperature have got antifreeze running through their veins. It's a natural substance that prevents freezing. You find that in things like firs and pines and all sorts of things. But then that's another point. You look at the shape of a pine tree that has evolved and developed and well, evolved in a climate that has snow. It is pyramid in shape. It's shaped in such a way that with heavy snow, the snow is shed and the branches are relatively safe. If you ever look at the shape of all of our trees, especially with these trees like the guarri, for example, these evergreens that you can see right now. The guarri is one of the only things that we can see that have green leaves. They've got relatively brittle branches, and most of these trees have spreading crowns, and they've got spreading crowns because, first of all, they've got to collect a lot of moisture, and even if they can collect dew in the mornings, it's good enough to survive through the dry winters. As well as they've got to expose as much of themselves to the sun as possible, so they're generally broad crowned trees. In fact, there are a number of different species of trees that have that very typical umbrella shape, and if it were to snow in these climates that have these trees, those trees would buckle under the weight of snow. They would break very easily, as well as, well, they just wouldn't survive because they don't have what it takes to survive a cold temperature. They would freeze. Plants that freeze, that don't have antifreeze, they have all plants have a rigid cell wall that forms the structure of the plant. Plant cells are rigid, and we all know that freezing expands liquid. Like if you fill a glass, no, don't do that now. Do not try this at home. But if you put a glass bottle full of water in the freezer, it would burst when it froze. It's kind of the same thing with the plant. You know, if it doesn't have an antifreeze property in its plant cells, if they freeze, they burst. In fact, you can do this yourself. Put a lettuce in the freezer and see if you can eat it when it defrosts. When it defrosts, you're going to see all the contents of the plant cells are just all mingled in between the membranes of the leaf, and it becomes inedible. So I guess it's a long way of answering, but no, we don't get snow. But having said that, global climate change, or just climate change, the advent of a new ice age. Who knows what the world is doing? Who knows what is happening in our universe? We think we know about patterns and weather phenomena, but we don't. Because just when we think nature's thrown its worst at us, something even more destructive or even more intense happens. How many times have we had hurricanes worse than the last, or, well, you name it. There's actually a bit of sun coming through in the west despite all this grey cloud. See if we can hear monkeys or something again. Unbelievable sound. Weepat was asking if there was a baby hippo born at the dam. I don't know, Weepat. We need to ask the zoomies if they've seen something. I didn't really look closely at the hippos right now. Be hard to see it if it's suckling. It'll only pop its tiny little snout up every now and then. But no, I don't see the dam during the day, Weepat. In fact, today is this few minutes now is the only time I've seen the dam today, other than this morning, a little bit from drive this morning. So I haven't the faintest idea. I know there was a lot of arguing going on at the dam last night with hippo. But what makes you ask, Weepat? Patty? Weepat, Patty. Some wurties are flowering soon. Thank you, Penny. Interesting information. Might account for what we're experiencing. South of us which is where our weather comes from. The main route between two of our main centres, between Durban and Johannesburg. That's like saying the main highway between Los Angeles and San Francisco is closed. Main road going, it must be through the Van Reenen Pass, or Van Reenen Pass. I'm saying Van Reenen for our international audience. The Van Reenen Pass is one of the windiest, most notorious passes in the country, one of, in terms of weather phenomena. Torrential rain, snow, sub-zero temperatures. I felt that this morning because this air that is coming from the south is coming from mountains that have got ice on them. I'm not purposefully driving slowly and jerking the car. Unfortunately, Ganda is playing up today. It needs more than just a little bit of a fix, lifting the bonnet, the hood, and tinkering with the engine. It needs something a little bit more major. But that doesn't matter. We'll take a very slow drive. We're not in a rush to get anywhere. Animals are going to be lying down and hiding. It helps us driving very slowly to see them. What does this one want? Hang on, Tara. Okay, sorry, Tara. Hello, Enid. Two baby hippos suckle underwater. Little noise. Yes, they do, Enid. They do indeed. Hippo. Come on, Gunda, please. Thank you. Hippo are pretty unique in the animal kingdom. Kind of like chimpanzees and other great apes. They sink. So it's easy for a young hippo to be able to suckle underwater. Normally animals are buoyant, or what we call positively buoyant. And they float like us. Doesn't take much for us to float. Just a lung full of air. And if a hippo were to float, look at this, can't even get up a tiny little miter drain. It's going to take a lot of patience this afternoon. What helps is switching it off every now and then the engine forgets that it's coughing and spluttering, and then switch it on again, and then after a few minutes it remembers. But yes, they suckle underwater because they can, and it's safer for them, and because they spend most of their time in the water. I'm not sure. When Mom comes out grazing at night, it's possible that little one follows her, and maybe little one tries to suckle. I don't know how easy it is for a hippo to suckle with Mom standing up, and the reason why they can suckle underwater is because Mom can lie on her side a lot easier. There might be times at night when Mom might lie down out of the water that lets little one suckle. I haven't seen that. I don't know about that. Possible, not impossible. But most of it is done in the water. I'm thinking we might just have to go and sit at the dam and see what comes along. Except it would help if it was a nice warm day. I am flying now. My foot is flat to the floor. The revs are going through the roof, and just now a piston is going to pop through the engine if we don't stall. I'll have some tea. When in doubt, tea. Must be from my English ancestors, if I have any. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Howick. Wow. Thanks, Penny. Snowing in a place like Howick, foothills, it's not even the top of the Drakensberg Mountains. It's like the foothills of the Drakensberg. I just want to get to, there's some elephants to go and see, so I just want to get to them if I can. Snowing at Howick, and evidently Midmar Dam is already deep in snow. Now I don't know, Penny, tell me, how long has it been since it snowed there? perhaps that might be an interesting fact. Snow in Howick. I think maybe Howick has seen snow on occasion. Midmar Dam? I don't know. Oh gosh. Midmar Dam is quite a big lake or dam. It's a man-made dam. I'm not sure if there's a hydroelectric plant on it, but there could be. And there's a very famous swimming race that occurs every year at Midmar Dam. It's called the Midmar Mile. I wonder how far they swim. Okay, have you forgotten about your troubles now, Ganda? Yes, for 2 minutes she forgot about it. Shh, don't remind her. She's forgotten all about it. Don't say anything. Excuse me, Dove. Thank you, Dove. Chris, in Illinois, have I ever witnessed the birth of an elephant? No. Only on YouTube. Not something you see every day. I have lived with elephants most of my life. I have been with elephants in many different countries. I've been with some of the densest populations of elephants. And sadly, I have missed the opportunity to witness such a thing. I haven't witnessed the birth of even an impala. And hundreds of them give birth every year. And all at the same time in a very short period of time. And no, I've never seen that either. I think the only thing I've ever witnessed the birth of is a cow. No, well, a calf from a cow. Pretty amazing. I was getting very worried because it couldn't break out of that descent. Tried to climb into the paddock to help it, and Mama Cow wasn't too happy about me even attempting to climb into the paddock. Even got a photo of her on somewhere on Facebook. You can see some goonie that I was looking after once. And from that day on, that Mama Cow never trusted me. She didn't like me. She thought I wanted her calf. I just wanted to help. Hippo tracks. I bet we're going to see a hippo. Not a bet. Might. Trying to choose roads that don't have much of an uphill or much of a steep incline. Peggy wants to know if we ever get earthquakes in Africa. Peggy, I can't speak for the rest of Africa. You know, Africa is very, very big. It's not like a small state. Africa fits the whole of the United States, Canada, China, and Europe. I've got to bring that picture. I've got to find it and bring you that picture to show you how many countries fit into Africa. And it's the only reason I want to show that to you is because Africa is not homogeneous. It is not sort of all the same throughout the continent. But yes, there are tectonic plates that affect Africa. I mean, the Great Rift Valley is a perfect example. The Great Rift Valley has got this whole eastern seaboard of Africa splitting away from the continent. There is a hippo here. There aren't that many earthquakes that occur, I don't think. We've recently had a few earthquakes here in South Africa, or just tremors more than anything else. I think one measured 3.9, was down in the Eastern Cape, the place where my parents and sister and family live. Hello Mvubu, I saw your tracks, I knew you were here. But nothing severe. Not in South Africa. We haven't had any major quakes for many, many years. We've had one or two minor ones. We're pretty fault free. Hello, Mr. Hippo. Hello, Deb. How long can a baby hippo hold its breath underwater? I don't know. I've never measured the time. Not as long as an adult. Doesn't have the lung capacity. When I watch hippo calves suckling, I would say sometimes they're down for maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds or so before they come up again. You know, the whole thing about animals holding their breath, like hippo, for example, it's not like they hold their breath and they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait and they push it and see how long they can hold their breath. It's a comfort thing. So it's never as long as they really can if they have to. So you never really know these things for sure. But there's this natural reaction, instinct to come up for air. So they never really push it to the limits. I mean, they hold their breath for as long as it's comfortable.
Yeah, taken off Mariquita here. The Samian Dwarf, just west of Twin Dam, has now moved in a southerly direction over Gary Main.
Straight to that one. I don't know. But we missed the herd of elephant that were near Twin Dams. They've gone south. I'm hearing things like crombecs. A few birds alarming. Seems to be up there. Maybe we ought to go up there if we can. Let's try. You ready? Yeah. Cheers, dude. possible that Karula was in this area this morning. So we're going to look around and see. Now I'm just going to stop and listen again, see where those birds are shouting. I'm not hearing them now. You can still hear them now. I can't pinpoint them. What are you trying to hear? Those birds making the noise. Like the crombecs, long-billed crombec. Yeah, getting closer, somewhere down there. Texan coming. Tex, were you guys busy at the quarry today? Okay. I haven't driven this way since that fateful day in summer when I came here following some rhino, only to find ourselves horribly stuck. Okay. Hang on. Hey, Aubrey, what was that? Playing Petelier and where? Thank you, Aubrey. guess we found out where Karula isn't. Judy, Indiana. Hello there, welcome to our Safari Drive. Pretty difficult to get signal down here at this dam with the radio. These drives have been going on now since 2007, although before that there were other things going on here at Wild Earth. Before it became Safari TV. I've been involved for 2.5 years now. About, yes, almost. Yeah, this is not really going to do us any good. I'm going to go back to Gowrie Dam, and we're just going to, that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit and see if anything comes around. We're going to talk, I'll answer questions, but this is, we can't go anywhere at this speed. If we get, for every 10 minutes driving, we get 10 seconds of decent real driving. Well, here's a flower for the ladies in the meantime. Spike thorn. I have to switch it off. Let the Land Rover forget that it's having a problem. But we're going to have to cut the drive short when it gets dark. Not much we can do about mechanical things. Spikethorn flowers, very pretty little things. Normally the whole bush covered in them, and then when they start falling it looks like confetti. Called confetti bush sometimes, some places, a colloquial name. yard. There might still be a predator around Gowrie Dam. Maybe if we go and sit there and wait. And that's something that we've been meaning to do on drive anyway. And I know it's better done on a nice warm afternoon. But today we don't have much choice. And what we're going to do is find a nice spot. I know it's also you have Gowrie camera. Or maybe we'll go sit. The problem is the radio doesn't work so well. You have to answer questions. Breaking up, so I can't hear you. Not the guitar, I'm afraid. Still gone. Evidently picture went a while ago. It wasn't copying time. Hello everybody, we live again. Haven't gone very far. Just gonna go back to Elephant Skull because the Franklin's shouting there. Although by the time we get there, whatever's gonna be there will be gone. Just the other side of the orchard. Hello Valerie and Jane, wanting to know if I can come back to FC and talk to you. Unfortunately we can't do that anymore. It doesn't work that way anymore. Because the cameras, it's all different now. There's something shouting here. What I wanted to do was get back to Gowrie Dam and sit there and chat to you. Come on, can we go please? There's something happening here. Go. Got my foot flat. My foot flat, not even raising the video. Come on. Crying in a bucket. Something here. Very dawdling. There's a cuckoo. Can't be why they're shouting. They don't shout at cuckoos. on again and we're back again. Right. Nope, not copying it, Tara, I'm afraid. I copied Pennsylvania. I know there's a question from someone in Pennsylvania. Oh no! Okay, I'll give up. We've got signal problems, we've got gunner problems, and now the tire that we don't want to have any problems with has now just, which means that I have to change a tire. Look at that, I'm like 2 inches off of the line. So, Tara, I think it's going to have to show everybody the. I'm not going to be able to change the tire here. I'm going to have to, while it's still got a bit of air in it, somehow move it back or up there or onto level ground. Come on, go, Land Rover, just go, please. Oh, now you go. I'm not copying you, Tara. Just hang on, please. Well, yeah, I think, I don't know about saying goodbye now, but patience is certainly being tested this afternoon with all sorts of things. It's not one thing. It's actually at the moment, it's a minimum of 3 issues that we're having. Signal, somehow, for some reason, maybe solar flares, who knows, places where we normally get good signal, we're not getting signal, it's intermittent. That's got nothing to do with the engine, which has got nothing to do with the tires. We are now out of tires. If I put the spare on, that is it. There are no more tires. So for now, unfortunately, we're going to be cutting away, and I don't know, we'll might have to just come back and say goodbye. But for now, sorry folks, hope you're going to enjoy Gowrie Dam for the time being, but that's all we can do this really cold, blustery afternoon. My humblest apologies. Bird shouting. Hi everybody, welcome back. Well, we changed the tyre and it's taken us forever just to get onto Twin Dams Road through the dip at Chelapan. We're trying to avoid any slopes. I'll sit and chat to you till the end of daylight, answer some questions and things. This is the maximum speed I've got as long as it's a straight flat road. Work needs to be done, unfortunately, on this vehicle, and the reason why we can't use the jigger is because a little bit of work needs to be done there as well. There are other issues involved, which means we can't use the jigger right now, and to be able to get one good one out of the 2 vehicles would take too long, especially since Sunday is the end of things. It's sort of 5 days away. What we need to do is we need to somehow tomorrow morning, perhaps in lieu of the game drive, try and work on things and get one of these vehicles just ready enough to be able to do drives for the next 5 days and see us through to the end of time, but every now and then there's a little burst of energy from this vehicle. I do thank those of you who've sent in some input on as to what it could be and how to remedy it. We'll take all of that into consideration and take things apart tomorrow at the workshop. It depends on what we look at when we don't really have the wherewithal to buy new spares right now. So for the time being, while we're just limping back to Gowrie Dam, any questions on a natural history note? We'll just chat that way. Hello, Julie in Indiana. When winter starts turning to spring, are there any birds that we look for that are signs that spring is here? Like in Indiana, you look for robins. Well, yeah, it's more a plant thing, Julie. We can the birds don't really do much. We do get some of the migrants coming back. That's important. And the first migrants, I reckon, are going to be the Wahlberg's eagles. And we do look for migrants. But I mean, knobthorns. The knobthorn trees are flowering already. Some of them. And we just saw spikethorn flowering. There are changes in the plants. I mean, every single thing changes, plant-wise, going into spring. Some finally losing their leaves to get their new leaves. The evergreens, they do it in a very quick space of time, short space of time. Things coming to flower. I mean, one of the flowers that comes in is the round leaf, wild pear or round leaf pear. It's not like the pear fruit. I don't even think it's related to the pear fruit. Maybe it is, I don't know. But the wild pear, Dombea rotundifolia, one of the first really showy blossoms to come out in spring. No, I wouldn't say we look for any bird in particular other than the odd migrants. You know, some of the migrants come in early summer because it takes them so long to get here. But the one bird in particular, the Wahlberg's eagle, that comes from northwest Africa, sort of north of the equator, going up there, that's one bird that does herald spring. It's not a case of looking for them, they become quite visible, prominent. Rain. Oh, it's just the final straw. Starting to drizzle. Yeah, I'm starting to see a few drops on the monitor here. So we're not going to stop at the dam and chat to you, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to say goodbye. We're going to have to switch off. It's not raining hard, but it's starting to drizzle. One of those days. Today is a Monday. Yes. This is a typical Monday. No, it's Monday. Every day is a fun day. When you have a day like we've had today, it's a Monday. Because not only have we had things happen here, we've had things happen at camp. It's like the gremlins out in full force today. Seb I can still see steam coming out of his ears because he's been dissed by his computer after editing and working so hard all morning. All his work this morning was wiped out by power failure. So you see, I mean, it's not like these are these are avoidable things. These are just random accidental happenings. Universe is trying to send us a message here. That's new moon. That's another reason why the sky's like this and there's rain. It's going into new moon. Just before new moon. It's like just 2 weeks ago. Just before full moon. Just the other side of the equinox. Maybe we'll get home before we get wet. At this rate it'll take a while. We finally made it to Gowrie Dam half an hour after leaving Elephantstone. And if Seb was walking he would have got here quicker than us. Hippos are having a go at each other. See if we can stop and see that quickly. Probably Gowrie Dam cameras on them. No, of course they're going to stop now that we can see them. Really youngsters those. Maybe even just females. Was that a little hippo or was that a hippo's foot? Big hippo? Big hippo? Not even big, those are youngsters, those are sub-adults. They're probably just playing. Oh, there's a little sparrowhawk or goshawk or something. Maybe a little gabar goshawk flying across my vision. So I'm afraid to say goodbye so early in the afternoon. Well, not I'm afraid, I'm just sorry that we have to, and that the day has turned out as it is, or has. But these are the things that happen in African bushveld. I can tell you stories about troubles I've had running remote camps in the middle of nowhere where the only access is by aeroplane. And every now and then you actually get these things where it's not just one thing, but you have this snowball, this domino effect with a bunch of things happening all at once. and they're unavoidable, and one just has to take them in your stride, because there's nothing you can do about it. There's no use throwing your toys out the cot. There's no use getting all upset about it. It's just got to accept that they're inanimate objects. They break. Things happen, and today they happened. So thanks for joining me, as short as it was, and weather wasn't too kind to us as far as game viewing is concerned, but hopefully in the next couple of days things will brighten up a little bit, and we'll be back with you shortly, or tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon. But we will let you know. My name is Mark. Seb's been on camera, Tara in final control, and thank you very much for your patience, everyone. We hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye.